Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Constantinides and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Constantinides and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Devastating wildfires tearing through parts of Chile are believed to be the country's deadliest on record. A state of emergency was declared February 4th as coastal cities are filled with smoke due to fires that moved from forested areas to urban areas. The fires have claimed at least 123 lives and hundreds of people are still missing, according to Chilean authorities. The catastrophic fires have been driven by the impacts of El Niño, a natural climate fluctuation that has a global heating effect, colliding with the long-term trend of global warming, which is fueling more intense and more frequent drought and heat waves. On Monday, the House of Representatives failed to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. In a vote of 216 to 214, 4 Republicans joined all Democrats in opposing the 2 articles of impeachment against the secretary. In a sign that Monday's defeat may only be temporary, the Republican Congressman Blake Moore of Utah, who supports the impeachment effort, switched his yes vote to a no in a procedural move that would allow the motion to be brought up to the floor again at a later date. The House sought to impeach Mayorkas on charges that he willfully refused to enforce immigration law, resulting in record levels of migration at the U.S.'s southern border, and breached the public trust by his actions. A man with a distinctive neck tattoo that was part of the migrant mob attack on 2 cops in Times Square was indicted Tuesday, the same day he pleaded not guilty to a pair of unrelated, low-level charges. A grand jury handed down an indictment for 24-year-old Yohenry Brito in the attack that was caught on video. Brito, who has been held on Rikers Island since his arrest, will again appear in court to answer the misdemeanor charges on April 3rd. On Tuesday, PBA President Patrick Hendry said the indictment was, quote, just one small step towards justice for our injured brothers, end quote. Brito was the only suspect tied to the attack so far that was held on bail. The other 4 suspects were all released after their arraignments. Authorities think they left town shortly afterwards by giving fake names to a church-affiliated nonprofit group that helps migrants get rides out of the city. In a related story, the 4 immigrants seen in a photo who were arrested in Phoenix on February 5th and thought to be the 4 other attackers of the 2 New York police officers were not the same 4 men. ICE spokesperson Yasmin Pitts O'Keefe confirmed in a statement that 4 people traveling to Phoenix from El Paso, Texas were apprehended February 5th and, quote, believed to be fleeing the state of New York from their suspected involvement in a coordinated assault on multiple New York City Police Department officers, end quote. It's not clear who the men in the photo are, but law enforcement sources reported that they're definitely not the migrants that authorities are looking for on the West Coast. They just had similar sounding names and were arrested on immigration warrants. In the world of professional and college sports streaming television, a new partnership has emerged. Fox, ESPN, and Warner Bros. Discovery are joining forces to create a new streaming service combining all of their sports assets. The standalone service has yet to be named, but will be available to ESPN+, Hulu, and Max subscribers. Each company, which between them owns the rights to all the major sports leagues and the top college conferences, will own a third of the new service, and their content will be licensed on a non-exclusive basis. The 3 companies have been in talks for 6 months with the primary purpose of trying to lure back sports fans that have already cut the cord. The new service will offer a huge amount of sports under one label, including from Disney-owned networks, ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, SEC Network, BT Network, ACC Network, and ESPN News. Fox and ESPN will provide rights to NFL games along with Major League Baseball. There will also be content from Fox Sports 1 and 2. Warner Brothers Discovery offers NBA and NHL content through TNT, along with college basketball's March Madness, which also airs on TBS and truTV. The networks also own rights to golf, tennis, NASCAR, and Formula One. The company said pricing will be announced at a later date, but it is expected to be significantly lower than the typical cable sports package. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Let's talk portable electric space heater safety. These heaters must not be left unattended. Place them on a stable base 3 feet from combustibles. Their use is not recommended within a bedroom, but if you must do so, place a smoke detector on the ceiling within the bedroom. Plug a portable space heater directly into the outlet, avoiding extension cords. Thus, do not use lamp cords or power strips for this purpose. Are portable, unvented propane and oil-filled heating appliances safe to use within a residence? No. Massachusetts prohibits their use. These heaters produce asphyxiant gases. These gases can render an occupant incapacitated or dead. Please consider your safety during these upcoming colder months.
Welcome back. During Tuesday's Town Council meeting, the council recognized a member of Braintree Town Hall for his service. Edward Spellman, Braintree's Municipal Finance Director, announced his retirement after 16 years with the town. Members of the council called him to this week's meeting to honor his service and give a few words about everything Spellman has done. Here's more from Council President Charlie Ryan.
Ed has been the Finance Director here in the town of Braintree since we changed our form of government back in 2008, so he's been here for over 16 years. And Ed is retiring from the town of Braintree, and I think everyone on the council feels that we couldn't let you leave the town of Braintree, Ed, without telling you what a great job you did. So that's why we wanted you to come here tonight, so we could I'll have a turn to tell you how we feel about you, Ed, and the job you did. I wish that the new mayor, Erin Joyce, I wish her success in finding your replacement, so thank you. So,
thank you very much. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ed. So we have a little plaque we want to give you tonight. It's a nice picture of Braintree, and it's for Ed Spellman, the Director of Municipal Finance for the town of Braintree, 2008 to 2024, and it's in appreciation of your dedication and service to the town of Braintree. Thank you, Ed.
Also during Tuesday's Town Council meeting, Braintree Mayor Erin Joyce announced her choice to take over the Chief of Staff position. Kara Nyman joined the mayor and introduced herself to the council, listing all of her experience and accomplishments. Here's a snippet from Nyman's introduction.
Thank you, Council President Ryan and councilors. I am very privileged here this evening to be standing before you with my appointment to Chief of Staff and Director of Operations, Ms. Kara Nyman. Kara brings a great level of professionalism and network, both at the state level and local regional network, that I think will be of great benefit to Braintree. She brings a familiarity in the running of a local town government. She has sat as a selectman in the community she lived in. She truly embraces the life of public service, and her qualifications I think is going to be a great asset to the town of Braintree. I'm certainly looking forward to working with her. Again, I'm very privileged to be standing here tonight with this appointment, so thank you.
Thank you. And Carol, would you like to say any words?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to introduce myself. I think I've had the pleasure of meeting all the councilors at this point, but for those listening tonight to the meeting, just want to introduce myself and give a brief background. I grew up in the South Shore. I went to Cardinal Spellman High School. From there, I went to Suffolk University, where I got a bachelor's degree in government. While going to Suffolk, I worked at the State House for 6 years in the Senate Business Office. I then went on to get my master's degree in public administration. From there, I was offered a job at the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office to do government affairs for Sheriff Michael Bellotti. That turned into becoming the communications director for 4 years after that for 3 sheriffs. So I am familiar with transitions in a short period of time. Also, I did serve as a selectman in the town of Rockland for 5 years. I also was the assistant town administrator for 2 years in the town of Holbrook prior to coming to the town of Braintree. So just wanted to give a brief background on my experience and my education, and I look forward to working with you all in the months to come. Thank you.
On Monday, the Braintree School Committee met to discuss the 2025 fiscal school budget. Contractual pay raises, special education, and transportation costs would add $10 million to the 2024-2025 school year budget. In his presentation to the committee, Superintendent Jim Lee said he is hoping to work with the mayor's office to bring the school request into line with what the town can afford. Here's a breakdown from Lee on the budget increase.
We are early in this process, and I want to emphasize that completely. As we begin the work, working directly with the mayor's office and the town, we'll refine these numbers, but we need a place to start. And so we start with what we believe we currently need. So the original initial FY25 budget draft that Ms. Kaufman has put together is a $10 million over existing budget, which represents a 13% increase over the FY24 budget. Why this number is so large, you can see up on the screen, contractual increases represent about $6.5 million of that 10 million. Special education, which I think we've talked about quite a bit in these meetings, continues to escalate as far as costs are concerned. So another $1.2 million there. Long-term substitute is a historically underfunded line. This is about right sizing the budget and making sure the numbers represent what our actual spends would be. Transportation is another place where inflation is really having an impact on us, both with fuel and also buses. Typically, we run 3-year leases on our fleet. At the last time that lease expired, it made more sense to renew the lease from a cost perspective. But with that come older buses that require more maintenance, and so those costs go up as well. Athletics, again, inflation, transportation is up, the rental of facilities is up, the official costs that are up, that's about another $350,000. And then inflation in general make up the rest of it. So we fully understand that this is a large number. I would tell you that, on the listservs that I'm a part of, this number is not extraordinary related to other communities. A lot of people are looking at increases of this size and scope. But this is where we are today. And I do need to emphasize there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But as a starting point, this is where we are.
Also during the meeting, the Braintree School Committee announced an unusual opportunity for residents to suggest names for the Early Education Center that will move into the former South Middle School this fall. School Committee Chair Lisa Fisk-Heeger explained the application process and set the deadline for all suggestions to be completed by March 4th. The committee will then review all the applications at their next meeting on March 11th. Here's more on the submission guidelines.
And finally, there are some caveats when you're considering a name for the school. If your choice is an individual, it can be no sooner than 5 years from the end of their service to the community. In the case of a deceased individual, a full 5-year waiting period is required from the time of death. The proposal submission will detail in writing the contributions to society and to the Braintree Public Schools in particular, what that the individual has made. And finally, an offer of financial contribution to the school district may accompany the naming request, but the school committee is not obligated to accept or reject a name based on financial considerations alone. So we have a few things that we need to decide
Determine.
his
So-
read timeline?
A consideration period, right?
Yeah.
So if we're opening up today, is 30 days, does people think 30 days is,
I think that would be sufficient.
so March 4th or March 5th would be our deadline, so we'll do a 30-day deadline.
That would be the day we have our public hearing.
We are not meeting on the March 4th, we're meeting on March 11th. There's a change in the schedule I was going to mention at the end of the meeting, but so if we could get all of the submissions in by March 4th, we could talk about it at the March 11th.
To watch the rest of either of these meetings, head to BCAM TV's government channels or youtube.com/BCAMTV. On another note, with Lunar New Year falling on Saturday this year, South Shore Plaza is set to host a unique performance celebrating the Year of the Dragon. To celebrate, Yee's Southern Lions, a school based in Quincy, will be performing a lion dance. At 2:30 p.m., the school kids will perform in the turf area at the mall in front of Macy's. Officials said the school's mission is to share Chinese culture with current and future generations through dance and martial arts. The Braintree Recreation Department is now accepting applications for their 2024 summer team. The Recreation Department is looking for instructors and directors for the Kiddo Camp, Sports Camp, S&P Camp, and other arts, playground, and waterfront programs. To sign up, you can head to BraintreeRec.com for the application. Once completed, email your application to BraintreeRecreation@gmail.com. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
It's that time of the year again, flu season. Getting vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19 can help keep you, your family, and your community healthy. You can even get both vaccines at the same time. Visit mass.gov/flushot to learn more.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. For the 5th year in a row, Boston's pandemic-era outdoor dining program will continue this summer. Almost all are included except for the North End, the restaurant-dense Italian enclave. In other parts of the city, restaurants that hope to participate will again have to comply with the design requirements around accessibility, sidewalk width, and pedestrian access. Restaurants will also have a monthly fee of either $199 or $399 based on whether the establishment owns a liquor license. The outdoor dining season runs from May 1st through October. The application portal is already open and can be found on boston.gov. A Brookline police detective, Dwayne Danforth, 39, who was previously named Officer of the Year, is facing criminal charges for allegedly assaulting and threatening to kill 2 security guards and a sheriff's deputy at Disney World. According to Orange County Sheriff's deputies, on January 30th, the Brookline detective approached a roped-off area at the United Kingdom Lochside at Epcot, where a private event was taking place around 9:30 p.m. Disney security guard Jeffrey Alves Barnett said he instructed Danforth, who was carrying a young girl in his arms and appeared to be intoxicated, to go around, according to an affidavit obtained by the Boston Globe. But Danforth came back and tried to remove the ropes that were in place, the affidavit claims. He then allegedly approached Barnett and told him, "I'm going to kill you," before shoving him aside. Danforth also allegedly shoved another security guard identified as Andrew William Blackport, who was standing nearby. When the Orange County deputy arrived on the scene and tried to speak with the suspect, Danforth allegedly shoved him as well. Danforth is now charged with battery, assault and battery on law enforcement, and resisting an officer without violence. Meanwhile, Danforth will remain on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of an internal investigation, Brookline Police said. Netflix announced on Wednesday that the Boston Red Sox will be featured in 2 upcoming Netflix docuseries. Red Sox chairman Tom Warner said in a statement about the project, quote, "One will relive one of the most magical stories that forever changed this franchise, and the other is a truly groundbreaking endeavor that will provide an inside look at the lives and personalities of today's Red Sox players," end quote. Netflix said its producers will have unprecedented access to players, coaches, and executives throughout the 2024 season. For the first time, Netflix will follow an MLB team over the course of a full season. The series is set to debut in 2025. The latest custom donut creation from Weymouth's Donut King is making quite a commotion. The Middle Street shop has come up with a donut featuring Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce's number 87 jersey with his girlfriend and music titan Taylor Swift's name on it. A store employee said they'll continue making the donuts up to the Super Bowl, which is a good thing given the number of people in line Friday morning asking for them. In addition to the jersey design, they also have another one with a football on top of a green base with lines drawn to resemble a football field. Donut King is located at 411 Middle Street, and it is open from 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. A nationwide blood shortage is being intensified by severe winter weather that forced hundreds of blood drive cancellations across the country. The American Red Cross in Massachusetts is asking residents on the South Shore to roll up their sleeves to give blood or platelets. In an emergency appeal, the Red Cross said since early January, about 265 blood drives across 27 states were canceled due to weather. This left more than 8,000 blood and platelet donations to go uncollected and has left hospitals in short supply of blood. Residents around Braintree, Quincy, Randolph, and Weymouth are encouraged to give blood locally to help. Some of the places to do that include the Quincy Sons of Italy at 120 Quarry Street, the Weymouth Blood Donation Center at 208 Main Street, RICC at 128 Pleasant Street in Randolph, and Stetson Place at 541 Main Street in Weymouth. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
James. He was surprised to find out that he has elevated blood pressure, which could turn into high blood pressure. So he talked with his doctor about a healthy path to get his numbers down. He quit smoking, which makes a big difference for his overall heart health. He also cut down on salt by watching out for high sodium on food labels and added a 30-minute walk 5 days a week to his routine. These healthy steps weren't easy, but lowering his blood pressure was worth it. Learn more about his healthy path.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. With Black History Month underway, it's a wonderful time to look at varying stories, perspectives, and messages conveyed through art. Here are 3 movie recommendations for you to watch. First, Selma is a chronicle of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s campaign to secure equal voting rights via an epic march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama in 1965. The film stars David Oyelowo and Oprah Winfrey. You can watch Selma now on Amazon Prime Video. Next, Moonlight follows Chiron, a young black man growing up in Miami. The film takes a look at the 3 defining chapters in his life, as well as his epic journey to manhood, which is guided by the kindness, support, and love of the community that helps raise him. The film stars Mahershala Ali and Trevante Rhodes. You can watch Moonlight now on Max. Finally, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse follows Miles Morales, a Brooklyn teenager who develops mysterious powers that transform him into the one and only Spider-Man. When he meets Peter Parker, he soon realizes that there are many others who share his special, high-flying talents. Miles must now use his newfound skills to battle the evil Kingpin, a madman who can open portals to other universes. The film stars Shameik Moore as the voice of Miles. You can watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse now on Hulu. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. I'm Martha Constantinides, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.